Hello everybody, Mac here. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to another Mortal Monday, and today we are taking a look at this guy, the ultimate jobber in the game, Shao Kahn. I call him that because he's been supposedly the big bad through the entire series, and how many times do we keep beating him? So, just like with our packaging last time that we were here, this is McFarlane's trademark, very simplistic packaging setup. We have the big window box, we have the wraparound window, we have the window up top, we also have some art. This is actually a photo of Shao on the side, and we have another photo of him on the back here, which is the figure, not actually like a drawn picture or digital rendering or anything. This is actually the toy inside, posed and taken a picture of, which I like that. I think that's really cool. I like that he does that. Inside, you can also see that my Wrath Hammer is a little loose in there. So, with that out of the way, our basic McFarlane packaging, let's not waste any more time on that. Let's just open this box up, and we will get Shao Kahn out of the box and take a look at Mortal Kombat 11, Shao Kahn. Alright friends, here he is, Shao Kahn out of the box, and before we put the tape measure to him, I do have to tell you one thing. Shao is a beefy boy. He's also a very sharp boy, that when I took him out of the packaging and I was trying to move him around, all these little sharp bits that he has on here were doing some pokey on me. Now, there is one thing that is very disappointing and may actually make me get another one, maybe return this one, that if you can see here, his one shin spike has broken off, and I don't know where it's at. It wasn't in the packaging. It didn't pop out when I took him out. It didn't break when I was moving him around. It may have been a clean break from the factory. So if I can find another one, I picked this one up at Target. If they get another one in, I may take this back and try to exchange it, because that is going to bother me. Little things like that really get to me. Also, you can see that there is some, just like with Scorpion, there is some overpaint right here. Some red on the tip of his armor that shouldn't be there. It's nowhere near any red, so I'm definitely going to be keeping a look out to see if I can find another Shao Kahn. Now, he does have mass to him. He is a very heavy, very weighty figure. He is much heavier and a little bit bulkier than Scorpion. So let's put the tape measure to him. Let's see what he comes out at, because I think he is a little bit taller. That to the top of his helmet, he's about 8 inches tall to the top of his helmet and almost 9 inches tall to the top of his horns. So he is a big character compared to some of the other ones that McFarlane has put out. Now, all of this armor on him does interfere a little bit with the articulation, which we'll be taking a look at very soon. But before I do that, the helmet unfortunately does not come off. I was really hoping that the helmet would pop off, but it is part of the sculpt. It is glued to his headpiece, which is kind of disappointing, because after Scorpion, after we had that faceplate that could pop off and swap it out for other ones, I was really hoping that that was going to be a theme through this line, that if they ever did bring out another Shao, that maybe if the helmet came off, you could swap helmets off. I don't know how easily the head would pop off. Haven't tried it yet, but you might be able to swap heads. I don't know. But we do know that this head can do an easy, surprisingly easy, full 360 rotation. These are rubbery. They're not solid, so they're not going to break. You can look down, not so much up. This arm comes out fairly well, but this one, because of all of this bulky armor, really doesn't. As a matter of fact, it sticks a little, too. His joints are really stiff when I pulled him out as well, but this arm doesn't really come up very far. He does have bicep swivel. He also has a butterfly joint. He has double-jointed elbows, which for as bulky as he is, have amazingly great travel. Wrist swivel, up and down pivot, just like Scorpion did. This wrist will pivot up and down as well, but because of how deep the bracer is, it doesn't really travel that easily. His legs kind of come out. They don't do a full split. Oh, wait. He does have this ab crunch in here that he can move back, sort of. Not so much forward. Once again, just the bulk of this figure is really getting in the way. He has a little bit of that butterfly on the hip that some of the other ones have had. Once again, he has double-jointed knees, which, as for as bulky as he is, has some really great travel to them. No boot cut, no thigh cut, ankle rock, back and forth pivots and toe articulation. So he has, as always, all of the standard articulation of a McFarlane figure. Now, other than those two, man, he is stiff. Other than those two issues that I have with the broken spike and this overpaint, I have to say that Shao does look fantastic. The detail on his armor, the detail on his helmet, the detail on the cloth hanging down from the sides and from the rear, all of this is actually a really, really well done piece. And he looks much better out of the box than he does in the box. With the gold and the red and even the brown, the little bit of black that's in there, the whole thing just works beautifully for him. And I thought he was going to be, I honestly thought he was going to be one of the more boring characters because it's just brown and red, but they really, McFarlane Toys really did a good job of making him stand out. That I think he is going to be one of the premier figures of this line, just as long as I can get another one. I don't mean to keep harping on that, but that I'm a little OCD about stuff like that, and that really bothers me. Something else that is just a little bit disappointing is, oh wait, but before we get into that, like, even look at the spikes on his arms here. You can see the spikes on his forearms and his hands. He has these clawed talon hands that are fantastic. The face sculpt of him isn't really much to speak of because you can't really see the face, but what you can't see of the face, the helmet is beautiful as well. I love that, like, samurai style helmet. And his eyes up in the helmet are just a little bit too spaced out, I feel. They should have been a little bit closer and a little bit down into the eye slots a little bit more. But that is Shao. Now, like Scorpion, he comes with some accessories, but not as many as I would have liked. First of all, he comes with the stand, just like all McFarlane figures do. His Mortal Kombat stand here, just the same as Scorpion's. Black disc says Mortal Kombat across it. And he comes with his Wrath Hammer, and mine's a little bent because of how loose it was in the packaging, but I'm not worried about that. It's a very soft handle. And we'll be able to heat that up and bend that and get that back into position. But there's also some weight to this guy. Can you hear that thing? Like, there is some serious weight to this. And I love the etching, the little outline of the dragon symbol on there. But it's the same on both sides because they just double molded it and stuck two pieces together. You can see the seam down the middle. So it's always going to be facing the front of the hammer. I don't know. It has that meat tenderizer look on the sides. I really like what they did with the Wrath Hammer. But that's it. That's all he gets, which is a little disappointing because I would have really liked if they would have given him his spear as well. Because he has the hammer and he has the spear in 11, and the spear would have been a cool weapon to have for him to dual wield as well. So this is one where, like, I'm going to have to keep an eye out for a spear that's fitting for this character to see if I can outfit him. Now, like I said before, the handle of the hammer is very soft, very bendable, so I'm not worried about trying to bend it back as is. But the downside to that is that it's kind of hard to fit into his hand. And once you do, if you only have him holding it one-handed, eventually the head is going to weigh down and it's going to bend in the opposite direction. So there's good and there's bad to it. The good, it's not going to break. You don't have to worry about it malforming. You can always mold it back. The bad, it's going to look a little wonky trying to pose him, especially in some of the two-handed poses that you may want to try and get him into. So that's our look at Shao Kahn. Nothing real complex, nothing to get into too much with this guy. He only has the hammer for an accessory in addition to the stand. But for as simple as he is, I think he looks great. My little issues with the broken piece and the overpaint, don't let that discourage you. If you find one on the shelf, just take a look at it before you buy it. I don't think you'll be disappointed with this, especially if you're collecting the Mortal Kombat figures. He is going to basically be an essential part to your collection if you are collecting them, because he's been the big bad for, ever. Like, even though he wasn't in the first one, he was in the background in the first one, and he's been pretty much the big bad up until 11. And then even in Aftermath, it was kind of played out that he was the big bad operating in the background. And he is a big, beefy character, and he's going to look great and tower over, well, not tower over, but he'll be bigger than the rest of your figures in your Mortal Kombat line. So between Scorpion and Shao Kahn, that's actually all I have for Mortal Kombat right now. I'm probably going to be getting Liu Kang very soon, and I'm trying to get my hands on a Raiden, and still looking for that original Scorpion at a decent price. So, until I get more of those to take a look at, play well, my friends, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, thank you for watching.